Welcome to another episode of You Both Suck. It's your boy, Kunal Aurora.
And I'm Dara Pollock.
And here we are, very excited. Dara,
Yes.
kick it off. Tell us about our guest.
I was like, whoa, okay. I wasn't really prepared for that. But yes, we are welcoming Katey from The Mother Octopus here. We go really way back. I think I met you in 2008.
Yeah,
which
I was
is,
trying to remember.
Yeah, it's a long time. We worked at Us Weekly together, which is part of the Rolling Stone Men's Journal family, or at least it was. I don't know if it is anymore.
No, I don't know.
I have no idea. I worked in the ad sales department together. And then somehow, many moons later, we both ended up being content creators. You're a mom content creator. You're a wonderful writer. You're hilarious.
Thank you.
I read some of your stuff.
Thank you.
I read it, and I was like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah, you're really great.
That sounds really,
Thank you,
that sounds like
guys.
kind of backhanded, but yeah. I
He's
meant,
like, well, I'm surprised.
yeah, I didn't think you could write. That sounds so mean on my end. But I mean, I was reading and I was like, oh, I'm engaged in this.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people don't think I can because most of my memes are just fart jokes.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing
Yeah.
is like, I was just going to say, you're also a meme creator and you make such hilarious memes. I think it's one of those things where you see one of your more poignant posts, but I think I'm like tooting my own horn. I'm like, but I think we're similar in that
Yeah.
sense because we're both pretty not serious, but then there's those moments where we are
Yes.
and it fucking means something.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because I was listening to Niecy Nash on a Conan podcast yesterday, and she was talking about how the people who can make people laugh are also the people who can make people cry. And typically it doesn't work the other way around. Like if you're a more
interesting.
serious actor or like performer, you can't necessarily make people laugh. But the people who really can, you know, who are lean into their comedy, they have both sides.
Interesting.
I can
Yeah.
see that. I mean, I was just going to say, comedian, what do you have to say
No,
about that?
I think I think that there's an attraction to a serious role.
Yeah.
To
Well, look
kind
at-
of pull at someone's heartstrings.
Look at Jim Carrey, look at Robin Williams, look
True.
at those guys who they're multidimensional like that.
Yeah.
And I think when you see a real comedian who can do drama, that's where it gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good point.
Whenever I
actually.
did anything with theater, I always wanted to play a serious role.
Yeah.
Because it's just, you get so bored of like being the fun guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to pull at your heartstrings. I want you to feel something that you're just, because it's different for me too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I think all comedy comes from,
Yes, I was just
You know
going to
what I
say
mean.
that.
deep
it's a-
pain?
oh yeah.
Oh, is that what we're going to do here? 4 minutes into the podcast?
Unhealed trauma,
Yeah.
Trauma.
inability to properly cope.
Yeah.
You know,
All
things
right.
like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so we're there already.
This
What's
is
it been?
great.
30
That's-
seconds?
yeah,
Great.
it's been like, a minute and a half. It's nice. 90 seconds. We're going to just tear into my life. Yeah, I was going to make a joke about my dad being good at making my mom cry.
We're there.
Yeah, and we're here already.
I was just going to say, but we're all funny people. It's
Is
not
it hot
just
in
you.
here all of a sudden?
It's not just you, bro.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get
Relax.
it.
We've
I'm
all had
as
our-
I'm consoling my own body.
Would you like to?
Oh my God.
Please
Help
do.
him.
Just put this.
Help.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're all right.
Anyway, but yeah, so, but tell us, what have you been up to lately? Because you started, when did you even start?
Besides breaking men down, like you're filleting a fish.
But I'm talking about myself.
I
Yeah,
know,
like,
I know, I know,
Really,
I
if
know,
you
I
really,
know, I know. I
got under
understand
there,
that.
you
I
would see.
understand that.
If
Yeah.
you looked under the hood, you would be straight to therapy.
I'm gonna be honest. The hood looks like it's made out of clear glass, so it doesn't seem like you're hiding anything. Yeah.
I was the best patient in therapy because my therapist was like, you're doing all of the work. Like,
Yeah.
you're giving me everything. I don't even have to ask you for anything.
I love that when a
Yes.
person who goes to therapy is like, I'm ready to dig.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what else do we need to know? Like,
Right.
let's go.
Yes.
I think
You want to
that
get
also-
behind the fridge.
Yeah. Sometimes I would be like, but how are you? I feel like I've been talking this whole time. I do that kind of
She's
often.
like, you're supposed to,
Yeah.
so thanks. Yeah. But I do think that comes with being a comedian and a writer, is you kind of dig deep to find those things, the poignant things and the funny things.
Yeah.
So I think therapy probably
Yeah.
does come to us a little bit easier, if
yeah,
I'm being
they're
honest. But
connected.
anyway, but yes, when did you start Mother Octopus, and also what are you up to now?
So after I left my career in publishing, which
Mm-hmm.
was 2010, I did a cornucopia of different things, which landed me to going back to my passion for writing. My degree is in writing. But I never really did anything with it because you worked with me at Wenner, so you
Yep.
knew what I was doing there.
We
It
all
was
know.
not writing.
Yeah,
it was
corporate
slinging ads.
Yep.
So I have 2 kids. My daughter, her birthday is tomorrow. She's going to be
Oh, happy birthday.
17 years old. Shout out,
Jeez.
Ollie.
I
Wow.
mean, yeah, that's crazy.
And when I told her I was going to be on the podcast, she said I was low-key famous, which
Okay.
to hear that from a 16-year-old girl who
Yeah.
you birthed, like that's everything.
That's
I'm gonna say right now,
huge.
to hear it from a teenager, fine.
Yeah.
One you gave birth to, that is the difference.
Next
man.
level.
That's
Very
the
good
difference,
point.
man.
Yeah,
Because
no,
your kids never find you cool.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And
True.
my
Right.
son, who's going to be 14 in April, so he's 13, he simply said Sigma, which in 13-year-old boy talk, that translates to cool.
No
Nice.
way.
Yeah.
Sigma means cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I got a Sigma. So
I'm gonna be Sigma is dope. Sigma is what's gonna be happening.
I don't know
now.
why, but I knew he was gonna like
Oh
that.
yeah, this is gonna be
I
great.
feel like it reminds me of Zelda,
it,
so I
it
think that's
has like
why.
a feel to it. I'm gonna find a
we
way
have a
to.
whole teen talk section. On the
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna find a way to throw Omega into it, and I don't know how.
just all the Greek
Yeah,
alphabet.
all the things.
So
Yeah.
wild. Okay, amazing.
Yeah, so I've been raising my children. That's kind of what started my blog and my whole content creation career. And then I got divorced, which led to my therapy career. I've just been raising kids and trying to make a living and starting over and finding love and
Yeah. How is the love life?
so good.
It's-
I'm like
everything's
I'm
good?
engaged like for a person
Oh.
who's never getting married again.
Okay,
Okay.
well, are you not getting married again?
No.
No, interesting.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
mean, is it because you feel like you're like I've done it, kids, whatever?
Yeah, like I also feel like how many times do you say forever
Yeah, that's
to
a very good
more
point.
than one person?
Yeah, I
like
completely
that.
agree with that.
You know
Yeah.
what
I think it's
I like
like if
that.
you've done it, why does it have to be done again?
Right.
Yeah, like
And that's like its own thing.
right. Like I didn't mean it the first time, so I don't necessarily have to mean it this time either. But
Yeah.
let's just do it anyway.
And
Like,
Right,
let's not
right.
get paperwork involved.
and I do feel like, and every now and then I get the urge to be like, I want to have a wedding. We would have such a great wedding.
Yeah.
I want to have a wedding. I want to get married again. And then it's like that scene from Pitch Perfect. Fat
Right.
Amy, better not. Better not.
Bit enough.
Let's just not.
Yeah.
I think it's all mental. I really
Yeah.
do. Like I think
Yeah.
the minute there's paperwork behind it, it just takes on a different vibe.
Yeah.
Like
I never understood it, but I think you're right because again, never having been in the position, but I have known couples. Shut the
I'm
fuck
sorry.
up.
It was funny. It's just funny the way that came out of her mouth. Never having to been in that. It's just.
Neither of you.
I know, but you just said it in a funny way. And I know you didn't mean for it to be, but it just sounded. Didn't it sound funny? It sounded.
Okay, you know what? Actually, this is funny.
Yeah.
As an aside,
Yeah.
I said to my friend like months ago when I was having a little bit of a bout with depression, and I said something on the phone like, "Yeah, I've just kind of been backsliding into depression," and she cracked up and she's like, "Only you can say that and make it funny." I was like, "I didn't mean it to be funny."
like I said,
But
they go
fine.
hand in hand. We know
Yeah.
how to craft
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I
a
guess
nice,
so.
deep, dark, self-deprecating.
Well, any-
Yeah.
you know,
Anyway,
sandwich.
never having been in the position. I've heard from many friends, though, who were together with their partners for maybe 5 or 6 years, something like that. They get married, and then within a year, it crashes and burns. And I'm just like, what is the thing about that marriage certificate that makes it
I don't know.
changes shit?
I,
I don't get it.
It
Feels more forever, I guess.
feels more almost forced. Like
Yeah.
just we know like that just by doing this, what
Mm-hmm.
we're doing, living in sin and blending our families. He has 2 kids. Hi, Bri.
Yeah.
He has 2 kids. I have 2 kids. Like, and I think my kids specifically would like for us to get married. His kids are younger. I don't think it would be great for them if we were to get
Sure.
married yet. They're still not. I mean, they're still dealing with his divorce.
Okay.
So I just think
Yeah.
it gives this like feeling of we're here because we are choosing it.
Right. Do you think that also because like at this point in your life you've created such a thing of independence that it's like there's no real necessity?
Oh yeah.
Whereas like I think other people who are not in that position, they feel like the need to like make it official.
Yeah.
Do you think
well,
that-
and also I think I'm a little older than Dara, and I don't know how old.
We're the exact same age.
We're the same age.
84,
Yeah.
baby.
Oh
Yeah.
God! All right, so
Okay.
I'm 7 years older than you guys.
Okay.
It's not
all
that
right.
bad.
But I know,
I'm
especially
gonna be honest. I did not know that.
Yeah, I
What?
didn't tell him.
Oh.
When you said what your
Well, it's
kids.
not like I'm 67.
Sure, I know, but when you said what your kid's age was, when you're like, "Oh, my daughter's turning 17,"
Yeah.
I'm sitting here doing math, going,
yeah.
hell?
You
When
act
did
like
she have
you're
her
12.
kid?
How
Yeah.
is that
yeah, that
possible?
just
No,
is
you
what I'm
do look
saying.
young.
Yeah, you look wildly
look-
young
Yeah.
for
Thank
you know what I mean.
I
So for
behave even younger.
yeah, okay. Well, I was gonna say that
That'll
too, but
do
that's
it, yeah.
not the point. But
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't remember what we're talking about.
We were saying, like, do we think that there's a reason to actually get married because you're more independent, that kind of thing?
I think people who are younger, like the mid 30s, you know, all of that, like you do want to get married because you want to have kids.
right.
So you want to have the family situation. And I think that's why a lot of marriages crumble around the
That makes sense.
That
the
age.
age 40.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, I'm going to get me a divorced man. Can't wait.
Have you seen the movie Friends with Kids?
No, I actually haven't.
You have to watch
I
that.
think I saw it floating around
Yes.
on one of the streaming.
You need to watch
okay,
it.
I'll watch it.
It's about that.
Love that. Okay, well that's what I'm gonna be doing. So anyway, well,
Speaking of kids,
speaking of kids,
and things, and we came up with this. We are doing our hot takes while debates, and we want you to judge us. We're doing
Okay.
pro gifts versus anti gifts.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, and we didn't really. It's a little broad strokes because I
Yes.
was like, is it receiving gifts? Is it giving gifts? We were just kind of, it's all over.
Run the gamut.
Run the gamut. We each get 60 seconds. I'm pro. He's anti. What else is new?
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you want to? I've gone first, I think, both times. Time's up,
All right.
bitch. It's your go.
Okay, first of all, let's calm down. Okay, let's relax because I've given you the opportunity to go first or second every time.
I know.
I've never been like, I want you to go first.
That's true.
Either way, I've always been whatever you want, Dara.
Fine.
There's no you're making it seem like I'm out here with gulags. I'm not. All right.
Yes, and
60 seconds on the clock.
And because you are the comedian type, you like me to show you the
Show
10
me.
seconds.
Yes.
Because the first time we did this, he went like this in my face, and
All right,
I
in my
panicked.
face.
What are you
A little
I
excessive,
panicked,
think.
and I forgot the rest of my argument.
A little excessive that I was
Okay.
in her face. Yeah, it was not like that, but all right.
Anyway,
Sure.
all right.
All right.
Are you ready?
Give me a sec. Let me set this dog
Give
down.
me
Yeah.
the dog.
All right. Ready?
Ready? And
Gift giving is from big marketing, okay? You don't want to sit here and listen to their nonsense about giving gifts to people. In fact, people didn't even celebrate birthdays until the 20s. People were just born and they existed, and that's it. Now there's obligations that society makes. You got to give gifts. You got to find gifts for people you care about. And then there's that pressure to return the favor. It's a lot of work. I say get rid of it all. None of it. Let's not sit here and waste our money, waste our time, and instead let's just enjoy each other's presence on a regular basis and not hope that somebody you care about is going to do something special for you when they should be treating you baseline pretty solid across the year anyway. I'm tired of it. I don't think anyone should be giving gifts to anybody. We should rid ourselves of the obligation and just exist in a society where we're happy to be around each other. Done.
ooh, 59.
Your boy coming tight. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess around.
I mean,
Exceptional.
Thank you.
again, he's a comedian. He knows how to do a
Holy
tight
God.
10, tight
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm out here.
I mean, I feel like you practiced. I feel under
Of course he
prepared.
practiced.
Did I practice?
Oh, well, you
or
don't-
did I not?
Here's the
Who
thing.
knows? That's the magic of what I do.
You don't have to practice anything.
Okay.
You are just,
Thank you.
that's why
Oh.
we would have told you if you did. It's only us who have to practice. I didn't
Okay.
really practice because
Okay.
whatever, but I, you know,
Hand
I'm
me-
gonna
thank you.
I'm gonna do my best here.
Jeez.
Yes. Okay.
Am I going to be timed too?
No.
no,
You
you get
just
to
give
just-
final judgment. Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be crazy. To
Okay.
time the
I know.
would
I
be
was like, oh
insane.
my God.
No.
speed rounds.
You give final judgment.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you
no.
get to bang the gavel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I think I'm ready.
You ready?
I think.
Okay. All right, and I don't show you. I just tell you when your time is up.
Yeah. Or yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ready, set, go.
Okay. I am pro gifts because, first of all, the money thing I think is an irrelevant argument. I think that most gifts can be special without being expensive. I'd even argue that sentimental gifts, the ones that cost like next to nothing, are even better than expensive gifts. That's number one. But the main thing, and this is going to get a little deep right now, but I think that people who don't like gifts don't like themselves because a gift is a reflection of who you are or it complements who you are. And some people don't want to face that mirror. So that's number one. And then also people who have grown up being let down by the people that they love don't like gifts because getting a gift is vulnerable and it's opening up yourself to the opportunity that someone might let you down again. So I say, open up your eyes, start trusting people, because maybe someone will actually love you enough to get you that giant chicken nugget pillow that you've always wanted. And giving a gift to someone that you know that they'll love is a beautiful thing. Embrace it.
Shit. I gotta call my mom. Hold on.
You bitch. You personal attacking heathen. You are a harpy. You are a Jezebel.
Where's the lie, Kunal?
You're a Jezebel. You're a witch, is what you. I will say you're a witch. You're a full witch.
I need a minute.
Yeah, I need a minute. You need a minute?
Are you okay?
I'm not okay.
Do we need to go outside and walk around the block?
Do you want to buy a pack of smokes?
Gee, what just happened?
Yeah, who comes in like this? What a jerk. You're just a jerk.
What the
Dara, giant POS energy.
Tell me that I'm wrong.
I just saw my whole life flash before my eyes, and I'm like,
disgusting.
Okay, hang on.
What a dirtbag.
has every gift I've ever been given been a lie?
Yeah.
What has it meant? Do I hate myself?
Did she sit in on a therapy session that I had with my therapist?
Were you at my house on Christmas morning?
Right.
Seriously. I was just thinking.
Were you
about
at my 12th
this.
birthday? I didn't even invite you. I didn't even know you. Can give us a second to get our bearings together?
Please do.
Yes.
I'm gonna sit here. Hang on.
Yeah. Who's ungearing us as people? Is this necessary? It's supposed to be a podcast. We're supposed to have fun.
I was still stuck on. We didn't celebrate birthdays until the 20s. I was still way back there.
Yeah, so was I. Yeah, and you coming in here with hammers? The hell?
Good God.
Lordy. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
We're supposed to have fun.
I'm sorry for bringing a little truth bomb to the podcast.
No,
Jesus
but
Christ.
you make a good point, though. You really do.
Yeah. Well, you listen, Katey. Please take your time. Obviously, take your time. Take a sip.
Take a second, guys.
Take a second.
Let it all wash over you.
Yeah.
Let it all wash over.
Alcohol may start drinking again.
Yeah.
It's only been 5 years.
I mean, Lordy, I only drink on vacation. I need a vacation. I just got back.
I'd apologize, but I'm
my
not
God,
going
this
to.
isn't strong enough.
You completely disarmed us both.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
good at that.
I'm uneven right now.
He's sweating.
Yeah.
I can't.
Please.
Anyway. Yeah.
Okay. So I really see both sides here, which is why I'm so torn.
Yeah. Feeling a little Natalie Imbruglia?
I do believe there is a lot of obligation, especially
Lord.
some people will let you know that they are expecting a gift, in which case you're like, oh my God.
Yes, that's annoying.
You know, that happens, but those are people who maybe do really love themselves and they expect to receive gifts.
Do I even know anymore?
To Dara's point.
Do you even know anymore?
I don't. I mean, Christmas shopping was already a pain in the ass. Now it's going to be another level.
Yeah. I don't even.
I'm just
what
saying,
is this
think
gift going
about
to
it.
say?
Valentine's
Think
Day's
about it.
around the corner.
Yeah. Enjoy that. Think about it, though.
I mean,
I'm not wrong.
My anniversary's in the next month. My whole life is unwinding.
It's all about interpretation.
You know when a ball of yarn rolls away from you? This is what I feel just happened.
You're just like,
Yeah. Goodbye.
goodbye, everything I once knew and believed.
Yeah. But you gotta make a call.
Yeah.
Talk it through.
I know.
Yes. Let us know.
There is the obligation, but then
Yeah.
also you do generally, some people will genuinely want to get something for someone.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think the best
I
gifts
said that.
are when you surprise somebody with something. Maybe it's not their birthday. It's not Christmas. It's not, one of those bullshit holidays where you're like, I saw this. It made me think of you. I got this for you.
I love those gifts. Those are my
Yeah.
favorite gifts.
I think that's the true
Yes.
meaning of it, but that's not the world we live in. We have the birthdays, the Hallmark holidays,
Right.
The
all of the
obligations.
things.
Right.
and being a mom, like you gotta do the gift.
Yeah, of course.
Your kid.
I mean,
Well, that's why I'm saying I'm pro
guess.
gifts. I'm not the one who's anti here.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
is.
listen, you can craft the entire reality of your children's lives. I mean, you are.
can.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, you are doing that. So in reality, you can make it whatever you want it to
Yeah,
be.
yeah. And
So-
like one of my close friends, they don't do gifts anymore. They do experiences. So they'll go
I
on a
was
little
just gonna
trip.
say
They'll
that.
go see a show
Yes,
together. It's
that
something
counts.
like that, where it's not a material gift, but
Absolutely.
it's something that they're gonna remember. It's gonna mean
and
more
it's
to them
something
in
that
the
they
long run.
enjoy, and it's a reflection. Like if somebody got me a Broadway show as a gift, I'd be like, that's a fantastic gift. Love it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know. So
Right.
I think overwhelmingly, I will say I'm pro gift.
Okay.
victory.
But yes, it is a gray area. I think
Yeah.
it's definitely a gray
Okay.
area.
yeah.
Listen, I mean, I didn't see that argument coming.
No, yeah, I
It's-
don't think any
it's
of it. When
been-
we woke
yeah.
up this morning, there was no way to predict.
Absolutely not. This is
Sorry,
truly,
guys.
Yeah.
I'm unwound.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like Williamsburg, 54 degrees, and
Yeah.
a chance of being annihilated
Right. 0.
to your core.
Yeah, right. Like, you know how participation was at 0% today? Like, you know what I mean? You know how like we now look up the AQI, the air quality index? I got AQI'd hard, the both of us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm polluted. How'd you put baby in the corner? They put 2 people in the corner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, well, I'm glad you both enjoyed that.
Well, yeah.
That was great.
Listen, I like to think deeply about
I
things.
feel like I need a cigarette.
Yeah, I do. I need to smoke on this balcony.
Okay, I mean, I'm just, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah,
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the. Are we ready for the squabble? Do we think?
We have to move on.
Yeah.
We have to. Not because we want
Yeah,
to.
like
Life dictates.
Yeah.
Understood.
It's
Understood.
the only shot we have.
I apologize for ruining the podcast.
Yeah, no.
With truth.
All right.
Okay, so this one was one of the ones that came from Reddit, and it is, am I the asshole for telling my friend's best friend that her son looks like her?
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
think this.
It's crazy, this one. This is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, my friend Sarah has a best friend named Summer. So, Summer nonstop tells everyone how ugly her baby daddy is and how it's so unfortunate that her son looks like her baby daddy. Her son is about 6 years old, and she recently had another son with a different man. But the thing is, this baby looks exactly like the brother. The other day, when we were all hanging out, Summer, in front of both of her boys, says how unfortunate it is that her oldest son has a huge, ugly goblin nose like his dad, and how ugly her older son is in front of his face. So I told Summer that both of her sons look exactly like her. And a little backstory is Summer has a complex and thinks she's the best looking woman in the entire world. She looked at me and called me a bitch and an asshole because because I said her ugly son looked like her. She was so upset. She told me to never compare her to her child again because her son could never be as good looking as her. So I called her an asshole in front of her kids, and my friend Sarah and their friends said I was being an insensitive jerk for telling Summer that she looks like her kids. Am I the asshole? I thought I was just sticking up for the kids, but I'm not sure if I should have gone about this a different way. Update. I am not friends with Summer. She just joins us every once in a while in the friend group, but I'm currently not talking to any of them from that day. And before this day, I did tell Summer that it was very upsetting to call her child ugly. I was referred to as the ugly granddaughter my entire life, so I definitely understand how her kids will feel growing up.
Now, this is, I think, obviously not because you're the guest as well, but you're also the most well qualified.
Yeah, you're a
in this-
mom.
Yeah.
You're a mom.
Yeah.
You know, you have an ex-husband, so there's that element too.
Yeah.
You have kids, so
Yeah.
lead off.
Yeah.
Okay, so whoever wrote in, let's call them Patricia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Patricia, for writing in. You are the hero in this story, truly, I believe.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, being a parent, it is so incredibly easy to fuck up your child.
Right.
It is effortless. Like, it is literally just being yourself. You're going to fuck up your kid. There's no way around it. Like, it just is what it is. But this is coming from another level of, like, the woman has a problem.
Right.
And it's very sad. And I'm actually surprised that her other friends, who are always friends with Summer, haven't said anything. They almost seem like they're afraid of her.
I was gonna say that that might be part of it.
Yeah, like they almost have like Stockholm syndrome in a way where they're like, yeah, no, she is the most beautiful person in the world. That is the ugliest child I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Cosign. Yeah.
what part of you is thinking like that the other person is being insensitive for sticking up for a 6-year-old who cannot speak for themselves?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And
You know what I mean? You do say things to your own children out of frustration, out of anger, out of
Yep.
being overwhelmed, and
Yeah.
you are inevitably going to say something to upset your child at some
Absolutely.
point in their life.
Right.
But this seems like it's been going on for
It's a pattern.
yes,
Yeah.
it's been happening, and it's so multi-layered. Like she obviously hates the baby daddy,
Yes.
Right.
and she's taking that out on the kid.
Yes.
But also then saying like that the second baby who came from maybe the more attractive baby daddy, that one's
Yeah.
fine. And so that it's just, it's so much.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid is probably too young to understand the dynamics between the baby daddy and the mom at this point.
Sure.
But if that keeps happening
Yeah,
his whole
that's-
life, he's going to
Well,
grow up.
That's what I was
I
just
think
gonna
that
say.
the thing is that I learned about. I was talking to some friends of mine. They're now new parents, and I was asking a friend. I was like, "Well, you took your kid to Tampa, and they went to the zoo there, and his kid's like 3." And I was like, "Is your kid gonna remember that? Like, I can't remember anything when I'm 3."
Yeah.
And then he said something that really kind of shook me to my core. He said, "I understand that, and the kid will probably forget it, sure." But at least subconsciously, he's going to associate us with a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that is
Yeah.
pretty important because you're starting that in your kid's life from an early age, right?
Right.
And I think when it comes to talking smack about your baby daddy or listen, I love talking smack.
Yeah.
I love it. Talking
all
smack
do.
is a beautiful. Talking
one of my
smack is
skills.
the spice of life.
Yeah.
Talking smack is MSG. All right. Does it have a shady history? Yes, it does. Do people have opinions about if it's healthy or not? Of course. But that's not the point.
We're still going to get it.
We
still gonna use
throw
it.
it in there,
Yeah.
baby.
We still need it sometimes.
You
You
just
need it.
need it.
You just
You crave
need
it.
Exactly.
Yes,
But what you
exactly.
don't do, you don't be out here talking smack about your baby daddy in front of someone else, especially the kid.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You got to
Yeah.
pick and choose
Yeah.
when you're talking that ish.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Throw a little discretion.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one thing to say you're acting or behaving like
Yes.
someone I don't, anyone,
Yeah.
someone I don't like.
Yeah.
You're acting like this person, but to be so specific
Yeah.
to be like, you are ugly like that person who is also
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah.
Like that is just
Also
beyond.
and
Call
also
a
to
child ugly is the most
Yeah.
insane thing I've ever
But
heard.
that's what
Especially
I'm
the
saying,
mother
it's
who's supposed to
crazy.
think you're the most beautiful thing on the planet.
I was just gonna say, like parents typically, if you're a good parent, I think they think their kids are the most attractive things in the world, right?
Yeah.
And but like in this case too, she's being very specific, and as somebody who has a complex about her nose,
Yes.
Yeah.
that kid I think is going to have a complex about that.
No,
you know?
without a
You're-
doubt. The
that
kid is going to be scarred.
hugely, even though he's only what 6 or something. they
Yeah,
said?
no, this sounds
it's still like
bad
that's gonna
subconscious feelings.
that's gonna stick with you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah.
But it's also, I guess the flip side is like, was it really her place? I mean, I think she is the hero of the story, but is it really her place to get it? Because now, I think the thing that bummed me out the most, aside from just feeling bad for the kid, because I know what that's like to be picked on too, but like, is this woman is now ostracized from her entire friend group because of that one thing that wasn't even really her place to begin with. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think in
like,
a way,
I get
throw,
it.
throw the whole friend group out.
I mean, that's fair too, I guess.
Are
yeah.
you? I think
Right.
that I disagree. I don't think that she's the hero. I think she's the anti-hero of the group.
Okay.
That I think, which is like what she's doing is good, but the way that it's being done is not good.
Is short, yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's errors in that.
But you're not gonna win with a person like that. So
I don't know. I think that that's a bit of a defeatist attitude, only because I think that I do believe ultimately in a world of win-win.
I think when you're talking about adults dealing with one another, yes.
Yeah.
But
That's what
when
I'm
you're
saying.
talking about a child who can't stick up for themselves and is already probably deeply embroiled in some kind of mental
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
shame because
Yeah.
of this mom,
Right.
I think she stood up for the kid who no one else was standing up for.
Yeah.
Right, but I think that's where it might be require, like, do you pull this woman to the side and be like, hey, Summer, I
But-
need you to know that you are as ugly as your child.
I don't think she's
know
the
what I
type
mean?
that's gonna. But
Like, you'd say that?
but that's what
I
I'm saying
think
is she's
that's what
not.
should have been said.
She's
So I
not the
think
type
so,
of woman
too.
who's going to receive that. She thinks she's the most beautiful woman in the
Sure,
world.
sure, sure. But that's what I'm saying.
My grandmother was like that. My Safta, may she rest.
Yeah.
She literally thought she was the most beautiful woman who walked the earth. I swear to God.
And you're saying, may she rest?
Yeah, but she was a lovely woman, but she was conceited. She was conceited as shit.
I mean, my grandma, may she rest in hell. Like, this woman was a criminal. She was a criminal and a thief. And she would steal from her own family. And wherever she's,
different.
I hope when she's looking up at me, that she truly recognizes that she was a deeply troubled woman.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I think that sometimes these people need to be, you got to pull them off to the side. I don't think in front of friends,
but
you got to pull them off to the side and let them know. You got to, like the same way you dropped on us some reality checks, you got to pull some people off.
Okay, but I'm not disagreeing with you,
Sure.
and I think that could have been a solution.
Yes.
But I don't know that it would have actually gotten the result that you want.
Maybe,
is
maybe
my
not.
point.
Maybe not.
That's my
Yeah,
point.
of course. Whether could or could not, I still think the action of doing it,
Yeah,
as opposed to
yeah.
being like
In front
hey,
of
yeah,
everybody.
in front of everybody.
Sure, I
and
get
I think
that.
that's where, and I think that serves Patricia's ego. Because Patricia has her own self-consciousness because she was considered the ugly grandchild.
Right.
So I think that is why
Yeah.
she felt the need.
Of course she did.
She wasn't defending this goblin of a child. No. She was defending
all goblin children.
All goblins.
Essentially,
Yes.
that's
All baby
essentially what
goblins.
she was doing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
I
went
agree.
to Goblin Town and said, I will stand up for all goblin kids because I too was an ugly duckling.
Yes.
And I get it.
I get
Yeah.
I
that.
get it. But it's sometimes, unfortunately, I think that in this situation, she could have pulled back and said, hey, listen, Summer, we got to talk.
Yeah.
Because you are in the winter of your looks. And I'm going to tell you right now.
I think every now and then somebody hits a nerve. It's
Yeah.
the wrong
And
motherfucking day.
Yup.
And
You snap.
it's going to be the day that you just open your mouth and it all comes out. I
Exactly.
think maybe that's
1000%.
like what happened.
I do too.
But I'm still really just, to use one of my mom's favorite words, gobsmacked.
Yes.
I love
love that. You don't hear it enough.
Goblin smacked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gobsmacked is great.
That no one else has ever said anything until
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it could be a little bit of that. Also, some people, though, I think this will be the, I guess, what's the word? Devil's advocate argument. Because when I think of my Safta, for instance, everyone knew this about her, that she was very conceited and just always thought that she was the best at everything.
Nobody ever checked her?
No, and I think it's because you just kind of accept it after a while and you're just like, this is who she is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember when I went to visit her once, this is a fun story. It was after my car accident. So I used to have a very big skin graft on my leg. It's a little bit is left, but it was bigger at one point. And I went to visit her with a boyfriend that I had at the time down in Florida. And she just was staring at my legs and she just goes, oh, she used to have such beautiful legs, right, to my boyfriend. And my boyfriend goes, she still has beautiful legs. And she goes, no. Just shakes her head.
That is
and it's like,
crazy.
but it's hilarious to me. But you know what I'm saying?
I like the fact that you've reframed this.
Oh, yeah,
in
it's
a healthy
funny.
way.
I never-
But I'll tell you this
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
If this was like, if I was down there and I'm sitting here listening to your grandma talking this mad-ish, I'd be like, hey, bitch, you need to calm the hell down. I know what your entire body looked like a skin graft. How dare you come at me like, we down in Florida, nobody want to be here. People end up here, okay?
Listen,
That is
but my
insane.
point is, when I told my mom this story,
Yes.
she laughed. When I told my friends, they laughed because they
Sure.
know how she is.
Right.
And I
Yes,
think
yes.
there's an
Right.
element of that
Yes.
that could be true here as well.
Right,
With
right.
Summer.
And to be honest, like, if we could go back to that a little bit, because now we're in the generation of placating everyone at all
Yes,
times.
there is that.
For every
Sure.
single possible situation that happens. She didn't grow up like that. She grew up with people telling it like it
True.
was. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yes.
Whereas now we're soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, I
fair.
guarantee, saw some real shit in her life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And did not have the time to mince words over it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what I mean is like, and I think ultimately, you know, in my case, she was a good grandmother. She was sweet. She was an amazing cook, always took care of us. But there was this element that she thought she was the best at everything. And it just became a running joke in the family.
I don't
like,
know.
That was it. I don't
think
know.
that I understand that, and I think that the thing is, back then,
Yeah.
they spoke less.
Yeah.
And
They didn't mince words.
Right.
You're right, but I think they spoke less, and the things that they didn't say, they might have been too afraid to say.
Right.
I think in our softness now, we've become more direct.
Yeah.
We
Well,
let people know if we're
the checks, like you were saying, no one was checking her because
Yes.
no one did that. I mean,
Right.
did
Yeah.
you do that to your grandparents?
No, I unfortunately, and I regret it every day that I let this woman get away.
You're like, why didn't I call the police on her?
I
when had
should
the
have.
chance?"
She basically
Wild.
she
stuff.
sweet talked me out of a jacket that I really liked, and then sold it to a cousin like a heathen. This woman was a piece of trash. Truly, I have no respect for her.
Amazing.
Yeah, if I could,
crazy.
I'd burn her ashes again. I swear to God, I would. She was a wretched woman.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like we
Wow.
let these people slide.
Yeah, we did, though.
We let
Yeah.
them, and they talk about the like they were harder back
Well,
then. I don't think that they were harder.
No.
In my
I think
ca-
we let them backslide into their bullshit.
I don't know. In my case, I would look at her and I'd be like, Holocaust. You know what I mean?
Right, like, I'm going to give it to her.
saying.
Let her
Yeah.
have
Just
it.
saying.
Let her have it.
You know what, man?
Let her have this.
After a while, how many times do you get to use that excuse?
I mean,
What, forever?
It's
a pretty good
It-
excuse.
I get it. No one's saying that it's not
I
affected a
know.
person, but it doesn't mean that you get to relive it.
Here's the thing.
where you're now the guards.
I understand,
Yeah.
but like I said, in the
Yes.
case of my Safta specifically, she was not a devil woman like your grandmother, apparently.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is like for all the good that she had, it did
Yes.
make up for the few times where she'd come out and be
Right.
like to my brother, "You got fat." It's like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but I
Right.
think
We
that
let
I
it
really
slide.
think that I do agree we did let slide, but I
Yeah.
think that there's something to like us thinking about that generation being harder. I don't think they were harder. I don't think
I
they
do.
were harder at all.
No, I
I
do.
think they went through more stuff.
Yeah.
But they didn't have these tough conversations
Right.
that we have now.
Yeah.
And it's like in our softness, we might call it being like, oh, everyone's expressing their feelings. Yeah.
that's true.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, these are tough conversations.
That's fair. That's
We're
good.
having these tough conversations.
No, that's true. That
All
is
right?
true.
These people that were sitting here chaining cigarettes and drinking themselves to death by the
Yes.
age of about 50.
Yeah.
Now we're living long and having tough convos. So what of it, Grandma? Rotten hell.
Good Lord. That's rough.
This is the new Americana.
Oh my Jesus.
I'm gonna let all your grandparents know. Send them over here.
Give him a lesson.
Yeah, you don't want to have that tough conversation with Nana or Nona?
You know,
I'll have them.
Oh yeah, Katie's Italian.
this
Yeah.
is where our generational trauma really can benefit us, I think.
Yes,
You know
I
what
think
I
it
mean?
does. Yeah, I think it does.
It does help you kind of round out like where you're from, the circumstances that have all
Yes.
kind of, joined hands to make you who you are and
Right.
like, have a nice, tough, hard
But-
look at yourself.
And don't you think though that is something a little bit that is missing from this situation with like Summer and her kid? I mean, I'm not saying that you should ever call your kid ugly, but she's like taking it to the extreme. It's like I think there's a level of being honest and stuff, but thinking even that your kid is ugly is
Right.
crazy to
Right.
me. How much do you hate your kid? It's probably
Right.
the hate for the baby daddy.
It is.
At the end
It
of the
is
day.
that too.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah.
in what world do you feel like it's okay to say that more than
No.
even like once? Oh
Right.
my God, it slipped out one time.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe she thinks he's too young and he won't remember it because he's only 6 and she plans to stop one day. Like,
I don't know, man. You got to be real stupid, I think.
This made me think about something like talking about like how the older generation and like today. Now you're raising kids.
Yes.
You've dealt with like you grew up from like dealing with how people were completely different back then. In
Yes.
terms of they would just be short and simple with their words.
Yeah.
They would not. A lot of things would go unsaid.
thinking of my grandparents, yes.
Yeah, you had to let go of a lot of stuff. And now, how does one person who dealt with all that growing up now raise kids where everything is an open discussion? How do you navigate that? How does one handle all that?
You go to therapy and you tell your therapist that you think your kid looks like the baby daddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, listen, not that
Yeah.
I have been a saint
Yeah.
since my divorce.
Sure.
We know that is not the case. But you certainly know what you're saying and the effect that it could have.
Right.
Something that blatant, like there's no mistaking what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like it seems hurtful. It seems
Because it is. Yeah.
really, really like over the top.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of having like the tough conversations with your kids, like, listen, you got to meet them where they are, number one. You have to be prepared for whatever it is that they are going to say, and you have to react. You have to just keep your head on a swivel at all times. Yeah. You know, I don't want to put them on blast, so I won't go into any specific, you know, issues that my kids have had, but you are never prepared for what you're going to say in a moment of craziness, or what your kid is going to do when they're not around you. So like all these situations just pop up out of nowhere.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I get texts from the moms, oh, your kid's been texting this. You may want to check out.
Yeah.
You know, and where you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That person came from me and somehow learned that from me.
Right.
But I don't remember ever doing or saying anything like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of it's out of your hands, for sure. But there are some direct things that you should just kind of know better.
I have a question, because following up on that, do you think some of those things that maybe your kids got from you or whatever it is can be reversed, you know? Because I've thought about this just as being the child of, like my mom will always yell at me for cursing too much. I'm like, bitch, you curse so much. And she refuses to think that, and I'm just like, and I'm working on it now. Like I am working on it now because of whatever. She's not wrong. But can that stuff ever be reversed? Like, yeah, I don't know.
I think so. It's funny because my mother actually had a conversation with me recently about my cursing.
See?
And she really begged me to take it down a notch. So I've also been working
Yeah,
on it.
I've really been working on it. It's wild.
But they do say people who curse the most are the most intelligent.
I know. Thank you so much.
I don't know about that. But you know what I mean? As a man,
Mensa's about to show up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not out here cursing wildly. Maybe I'm dumb. I don't know what to say.
Maybe you just stupid.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am just stupid. But
I don't know. You know, I don't know. We're learning things all the time. Like, you know, my marriage fell apart partly because I was wildly clinically depressed and had no idea. Yeah. I don't think he had an idea. I hope he didn't know, and just let it be. But, you know, I didn't know what that looked or felt like.
Right.
Until someone told me it happened. And you know, like my kids, it changes. Everything changes as they're getting older. My kids are now reacting to things and going through things where I'm seeing like certain levels of anxiety that I don't think I've ever had, but definitely come from, you know, their dad who is more buttoned up about things. So like his anxiety serves him and my children in decent ways.
Right.
Maybe not always, but you know, he's got it together a little bit more because of his anxiety. Right. I think maybe if I had more anxiety, my house would be cleaner. I'd have more money, you know, like
there's some
laundry
benefits.
would be done. I think it does help you, but then there are also the things where you see your kids stressing about sports or their weight or things like that where you're like, I don't have that. So that's coming from somewhere else.
Right.
So you have to be careful about how you deal with those things because you don't, you know, you're not talking about it from a place that you really understand. So,
it's tough.
It is tough.
it seems like flexibility is like the overall, like I'm listening to what you're saying and it feels like that has to be something that you have to keep into consideration, like head on a swivel, just have to be open to what's going on and just like kind of understanding how things can go left or right all of a sudden.
And not reactive too, which is tough.
It's very tough.
I'm very reactive, so I feel like if I had a kid, it would be tough for me.
Yeah.
I'd have to do a lot of deep breathing and a lot of counting to 10.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and I think a lot of times, like when your home is in turmoil, when something has happened, a divorce, a death in the family, someone's sick, you know, whatever it may be, or maybe just me, I hope not just me, I become very deeply like, I internalize all of my thoughts and feelings and it's me.
Yes.
And that's something I'm working on or have been working on. And so it's hard to keep everyone else top of mind. How are they feeling? How are my actions affecting them? You know, what can I do to bring bring everything up here and step out of my own psychosis or whatever. So when you've got other humans to, you know, that you're responsible for, or your actions are really affecting them, like you know, you're forced into it a lot more.
Right.
Wow.
I've not been great at it always either. Sorry.
No,
Allie
I
and
mean,
James.
of course. It's like, I think that there has to be eventually kids, you know, they start to see you as like a person.
Yeah.
And not like this authority figure.
Well, and it's funny too, because
Yeah.
am starting to see them as people more too.
Right,
like as they get older, it's really wild.
Yeah.
And every new year, I'm like, oh my God, this is my favorite age for them. This is my favorite age for
Yeah.
them. I was not a nurturing mother who was good with little kids.
Yeah.
I found out I have ADHD like everyone else.
Right.
Adult onset.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, undiagnosed ADHD, which is very common in women. And a lot of my inabilities to deal with my kids when my children were little, and the state of my household when my kids were little, and being overtouched and being overwhelmed and being overneeded. Those things all came from my ADHD.
Interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah, but those are also things to think of. Like, now I have to look back on the years that I missed being overwhelmed, and I have to understand now that, like, yes, I'm going to be overwhelmed, but this is all I get from that. This is all I get.
Right.
I saw Jerry Seinfeld. I saw a video. He was talking, I think, to Jim Gaffigan, and it was how he had brought his daughter. They brought their daughter to her first apartment in the city, and they were like, "Okay, bye, see you. Hope you have a good life."
Yeah.
And he said the statistics are, you have your children for 18 years, like every day of those 18 years for the most part, and then when they leave, you see them for one more year.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that clip.
Wait, I don't understand.
collect-
Like, you'll
Collectively.
see them 365 more times.
Like collectively
life.
in terms of time.
Oh,
Like we're talking
interesting.
holidays and
Oh,
get-togethers
yeah.
and all those things, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then that is, I mean, unless they like,
Interesting.
you know, well, in my case, when I moved back home because I got evicted, but that's not the point. The point is that, like,
You know.
yeah, some people
A
slip
happy
up.
accident.
Yeah,
Right.
some people slip up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Quality time, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, okay,
I mean,
you know?
yeah, I'm back.
Whatever. I moved out at like 25 and then got evicted, had to move back in. Point
Yeah.
is, yeah, the
We've all
thing
been
is,
there.
right, is that there's that, and it's really,
That's interesting.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot to take in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which is why I think for having a 6-year-old, and now this woman has a baby,
Yeah.
Right.
she could be in the throes of a deep depression, and she's, you
Yes.
know, she's dealing with all kinds of other traumas, and who knows, maybe the baby daddy is a real piece
Yeah.
of shit,
Yeah.
and she
Maybe.
has legitimate reason to hate him.
Right.
Yes, maybe all of those things are true, but also, that's why I don't think it's bad for someone to step in and be like, yo,
Right.
Right.
all these things considered, yes, everything sucks. It's hard. You're doing your best.
Yeah.
But, like, you can't say mean shit like that to your kid. 'cause
Right,
you're really
exactly.
gonna fuck them
So
up and
should
hurt
we
them.
get
Yeah.
into final judgment?
I think so.
I think we should. So what basically the way that it works is we'll
Yeah.
give our, you know, I mean, our either way,
Spiel,
our
whatever.
spiels, and then you give your,
Okay.
and you know,
Yeah.
what do you want to?
You go first.
Okay, all right, sure.
God, wait, let me prepare again. I can't
Yeah.
go through another one of those. What
Yeah.
happened before? Give me a second. Sweet Jesus.
I know, right?
God.
Yeah, you're not gonna mollywop us again, right?
No, I'm not.
I don't want to be hit sideways. Okay. Good God, I have
on,
the
wait,
rest of
this-
my day to go through. I've got work later, for Christ's sake. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say this. Summer be a real piece of work. Okay. Least favorite season, even least favorite person. Don't care for your nonsense. Calling your kid ugly is atrocious. You're ugly. That's absurd. How dare you call a child ugly? The world is, when people go about their day going, man, you know, I'm trying to prepare this kid for life. They're gonna be prepared by life. Life comes at you quick, and it's gonna do all sorts of nonsense. A child doesn't need to be fighting when at home.
Yeah.
You don't need to beat your kid up physically, mentally, when they're in the house. For the love of God, that's the rest of the world. That's what they're up to. Home should be a safe space. Make it a safe space.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes, so there we go. Summer, true asshole. All right? Much like that ungodly, unwavering heat and humidity that stinks, so does summer.
Yay.
Now, when it comes to Patricia.
okay.
Yeah, Patricia, are you an asshole? Yeah, you are. Okay? You came in here. You didn't like this person to begin with. You were the ugly duckling. So you decided gloves came off. Let's start swinging. And you did. And was it wrong? No, not really. It was justified. It was necessary. But the way you did it, a little uncouth. And as a result, you suck too. Yeah, you both suck.
Interesting.
That's my judgment.
All right. I didn't see that coming.
I was not anticipating a you both suck.
Me neither. Yeah, no, because I'm not going that way. I'm thinking that Summer is the only one who sucks here. You know, terrible movie also, 500 Days of Summer.
Yeah.
Just terrible is a stretch. It's just I don't get it. I don't
Yeah,
get
it
it.
was-
Everyone's obsessed with it. I don't get it. It sucks more every time you watch it, and I bet that's how this person is in real life too. Every
Yes.
time you see her, she just gets worse. But I think she sucks, because you don't do that. I don't even have kids, but I could tell you that's a horrible thing to do. That kid's going to be scarred. Also, enjoy paying for therapy, Summer, because that kid's probably going to be in the therapy.
Doubt she's the kind of person who would even chip in.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It sounds like a horrible situation. But I do not think that Patricia sucks, because I understand being in a situation where, I do think she was triggered. It sounds like she was the ugly duckling growing up and, all bullied probably. And I get that as well. So I understand snapping, and I think we're all human and it happens. And I think she did the right thing. I don't think she did it in the right way, but at the same time, I know people like Summer, and I don't think there's really any right way to approach a person like this. So I don't think it would have been a win-win, no matter how she went about it. So for me, I think the friend, Summer, she's the one who sucks. Patricia, I think you did the right thing. I'm sorry that you lost your friends, but honestly, these sound like friends that can go flush themselves down the toilet, and
They
you'll be
suck
just
too.
fine.
Much like the
Exactly.
seasons. You can be
Yes.
done with them.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't stop.
No,
All
I
right.
wanted something like that, and I couldn't think of it, so thank you.
Appreciate you. I got
Yeah.
your back. All right.
Okay.
Final judgment.
Yeah.
Definitely Summer sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also loathe
Yeah.
the Summer.
Same.
It's disgusting.
Horrible.
Loathe.
Yeah. Horrible.
I wonder, do these people live in New York? Because like the subway says, if you see something, you got to say something. And I think she fucking saw something. And she fucking said something.
Yep.
And there was a child involved here, and she was being unnecessarily cruel to her own child, which her other shitty friends were probably just blindsided. They didn't even know how to deal with it.
Exactly.
Right.
But I think they also suck, because who is enabling this woman to continually shit on her kid like that? And that's a little kid too.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even a teenager who can give it back to
It's
you.
like a
trust
defense.
me.
Yeah.
My kids, especially the 17-year-old girl, come on.
Yeah.
Like, we've been through it. We still go through it.
Yeah.
And, you have to remember that kid is half you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I see a lot of stuff in my kids that I can immediately recognize as like, oh my God, that's me. That's
Right. That's got to be tough when it's like you gave them the tools in which they fight you with.
Yeah. That's great.
Like, I don't want to put her on blast. But
Yeah, but
I've
it's-
definitely seen things with both of my kids where I'm like, that's me. So, like,
Right.
does she not have any comprehension of that? Like,
Doesn't sound like it.
shouldn't she love this child enough to be like, how could I hurt them that deeply? I just,
Right.
and as an imperfect mother who has definitely said things to my kids that have been hurtful, never about their physical appearance.
Yeah. No, it's
that's a
crazy.
line you're just crossing
Yeah.
for no
No.
reason.
Yeah.
But
no.
nothing on Patricia, huh? She gets
Patricia, you heard me. I'm still,
Yeah.
she's the hero.
interesting.
I think
Okay.
she's the hero. I think she stood up for someone who could not
stand up
for themselves, and everyone else was just watching it happen.
Right.
So I gotta say, Summer, you suck. Patricia, you are a hero.
Yep.
You get my vote. Keep doing God's work out there. That's what I say.
Co-sign that statement. Yes.
All right.
Love that.
Let's Katey, let us know. Plug the things.
There's
Yeah.
nothing.
There's nothing.
No, I'm going through menopause probably. Just waiting for that to fully set in.
Sure.
Preparing to send one child to college, which is
Okay.
I know. It's so
Heart-wrenching.
exciting.
Yeah.
and preparing for my other child who's a teenage boy. So
Oh boy.
Yeah.
going on
Enjoy
there.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what's going on there. Otherwise, just
Drop your handle. Let them know where to find
the
you.
mother at the Mother Octopus everywhere. I think everywhere that people make content.
Yep.
And I've really slowed down a bit in my old age, but I'm still pumping out
I mean,
content here
you're
and
kicking.
there.
You're
Yeah.
kicking to me.
Yeah.
You're kicking. I like
Hopefully,
it.
getting back into some more writing here soon.
Please
but
do.
We'll
You
see.
and me both, fam.
I think please do. Truly.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Also, listen, thank you for those who are leaving reviews
Yes.
and those who have been subscribing.
Yes.
Sharing the clips is always fantastic when a new clip drops. I love the feedback that people are commenting on.
Yes.
Do that. We enjoy it. We
Yep.
love to see it. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes.
All right. Dara, hit him with the info.
We are at You Both Suck podcast pretty much everywhere, I think. And
Yes.
we have the squabble submission form in our bio on Instagram. Little link that you can click and vent away about your problems, and or you can send us Reddit links. That's fine too. Because honestly, sometimes the Reddit ones are really unhinged, like today. So
Sure.
you get it.
And if you leave a voice note, we're not going to play it
Yes.
on air. That's crazy. We would never do that.
Yeah, we transcribe.
Yes.
So don't worry. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about sounding like Bane or doing
Yeah,
something
the
like
only
this.
voice notes
Yeah.
we would ever play are each other's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
hang on. Do you want to tell people about that real quick?
So,
Do we have
yeah,
time?
I think we could squeeze this in real quick.
Jesus Christ.
So basically, Dara had was like really upset about something that somebody had done.
this week. Yeah.
Right. And she had, and I was like, you know what I love is that like you come in with the most, like right off the top when Dara loses it, she becomes like a mob boss, like a
I
mob
love
wife.
that.
She just, she starts
I
ranting
understand
and
that.
raving.
I am Sicilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
it's-
like, you get it, I'm sure.
It's so maniacal. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sitting here just sipping tea going, this is a morning.
Yeah.
This is how,
Because
you
I
know?
sent him, I think you're leaving out that I
Yes.
sent him a voice note that I had sent my friend
Yes.
discussing the situation. I was like, you should hear this voice note. I sound legitimately insane. And I send him the voice note and he's enjoying it, obviously.
I'm eating it up. I'm
What, are we
listening
gonna
to
play it?
we're not. But
No.
what we're gonna do, what I will say this is what I did was
You can play the thing you have if
yeah,
you want.
I sent the voice note. I went to Fiverr and I told them, could you make a jingle out of it? Out of Dara's angry,
Stop.
ridden voice.
This is going to be my new favorite thing ever.
And I created the voice note, and obviously we'll have to dub it over.
Let me also point out that when he told me he did this, he
Yes.
texted me and said he did this. I go, ha ha ha. I assume this is a joke because I was like, no way he actually did this.
What's Fiverr?
Oh, but he did. You don't know what Fiverr
Fiverr
is?
is basically where you hire people
Like
to do also
freelancers.
freelancers. You can
But it's
hire them
cheap.
that you can anywhere from $5 to $500. You can make them. They'll make flyers. They'll
Yeah.
do voiceovers.
It's pretty great,
They'll do
actually.
anything. They'll do a
This
website.
is not
like-
sponsored by Fiverr, but
I feel
it
like
can
I
be.
could have made that on my own, just saying.
Sure.
I mean,
As a
sure.
content creator.
Yeah, why not?
I don't have $5 to spend on this.
Yeah, well, they have time. You may not have time. They have time. So
It's amazing.
They made this jingle, and based off of Dara ranting and raving. So I don't. It's probably not going to play well on this, but we'll hear it. But I'll send it to you to dub over.
Oh, okay. That's a
So
good
here we go.
idea.
Is she fucking crazy? Bitch, that was our fucking idea. Curtsy? Holy fucking shit. Now I'm fucking pissed. Holy shit. I was not at the board. I'm mad now. She took full credit for that idea.
I mean, come on, right?
I take it back. I could not have made that.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Yeah, no, that was impressive, actually.
I paid $7.48.
That's
You-
worth $749.
Thank you.
Oh, my
100%.
God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When I told Dara that I'd sent it to somebody, she goes, "You're kidding, right?" And I was like, "I gotta explain this to her
You're
face
like,
to face."
trust me, it'll be worth it.
I know. I was scared of her.
He was afraid.
I was afraid of her wrath.
He was afraid.
Yeah. I was.
But
so
you've known each other for a long time.
We have.
Yeah, but we're
still,
not close. That's what
yeah.
everybody, I think, misunderstands because we went to high school together, but we were never close. And he's lived in Greenpoint, and I've lived here, I think, almost the same amount of time.
Yeah, I think like 7 years for me though.
Oh, okay, I've been here for
okay.
double that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So just
literally going on my
Well,
14th.
he had that stint back at home.
Right.
That's-
yes,
so
that's
did I.
true, yeah.
So did I.
Yeah.
But either way, I've been here for a while, and I always kind of knew he was like in the area, but we just were never close.
Yeah.
So it only kind of came about that we reconnected when I was starting to dabble in stand up, and then he wanted some social help, so we kind of reconnected.
Yeah,
and then
worked out.
That was how it happened. So we're not as close.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he still
Do
doesn't
you
know.
want to talk shit about either one of? Do you guys want to?
I mean, I
Talk
don't.
shit
I
about
mean,
each other?
I'm good for
Should I
now.
do a you both suck?
No, we're good on that. But yeah, it's just it was funny. I just didn't want it to get out because the subject matter was something that I didn't want to be public.
right,
But I was
right,
like,
right.
you can't even understand what's
This
happening
is
in
like
that.
intelligible nonsense.
Exactly.
But with a
Right.
beat, with a house beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean,
So,
as a Sicilian person whose people are not known for their
keeping their cool.
radical
calm demeanor.
forgiveness,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
I appreciate the unhinged.
Oh, I'll play. And
Yeah.
also,
rant.
when we end, I'll play for you the actual voice message.
I would say do a whole 12-track album of that shit, and I would.
I
That
got
shit would
two
be on repeat.
versions. I hired 2 people.
Okay, money well spent. I take back everything I said.
Thank you.
I can't.
Thank you. She's like, you're spending your money on this? I go, $15.
I mean,
$15. The joy? The joy? I'm talking ringtones.
Priceless.
Yeah,
talking about gifts, just
yeah,
saying.
we're talking,
I mean,
pro gifts.
Yeah,
That's-
I would rather have that than a diamond bracelet.
It's pretty great.
I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah. All right. Well,
Anyway,
we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week. Thank you, Katie, for being here. We
My
loved
pleasure.
this. Yes, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.